I'm Rick Green. I'm the president and CEO, and proudly the president and CEO of the Greater Pompano Beach Chamber of Commerce. You're going to be hearing some things this morning about what we've done, but first and foremost, it is election time, and I'm going to ask, before I introduce our people, to get it out of the way, if you are an official, an elected official, one I recognize, a couple I see, I'm going to recognize them, but if I don't recognize you, please, I'd like you to stand up and introduce yourself very quickly. I'm going to wait for the mayor to introduce the commissioners from Pompano, so that will happen. But I do know that we have with us the mayor of Lighthouse Point, Mr. Glenn Trost. I've said my part, this is it, and you never thought I'd be that quick. But with great pleasure, I'd like to introduce to you the chair of the Greater Pompano Beach Chamber of Commerce for 2017 and 2018, Mr. Tim Hogan.
Thank you, Rick. So good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. It's nice and chilly outside. I actually turned on the AC for everyone, about 42 degrees out there, nice and chilly, huh? All right, so we're going to bring up Monica Ribeiro. She's our chair-elect for the chamber. She's going to lead us with the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we're going to give us some more information as well. So thank you all for being here. Monica?
Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thanks, Jim.
So up next, we have Miss Donna Allen. She's a national recording artist. She's going to come out from behind the stage and do the national anthem for us as well. So Donna, if you could please come out. She's a local superstar and has been on the national stage for a long time. So thank you. Come on up.
I miss you guys. What took you so long? Huh? Can I have you all to stand up? Thank you. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light who was so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land and of the free and the home of the brave, the brave. Thank you. God bless you. I love the city of Pompano Beach, Florida.
Wow. Thank you again. Really appreciate that. So I want to take a moment and thank our sponsors. They're listed on the actual program and throughout the area. Thank you very much to our trustee members. We know the importance of you and your engagement, and we so appreciate all that you're doing. Our Beacon Light Council as well. Thank you as well. Jerry, we just had a very good conversation, John Knox Village, so thanks for that you're all doing and joining the team with the Beacon Council as well as Florida Power and Light. I know that throughout the years we've done a lot of sponsorships, and we look forward to many more. So with that, if we could have the board members to please stand. We have 26 board members. We want to recognize you as well. And this is from the Greater Pompano Beach and the Margate Council. Board members, thank you for all you're doing. So as Rick mentioned, the staff has done a tremendous job, and that's from the City of Pompano Beach as well as the Chamber. Working together, Pompano has come a long way. We'll say that, and I know that the mayor has a lot of great information to share with us this morning. So speaking of mayor, this is the moment when I have a great opportunity to bring him up. But before we do that, I wanted to give you a little bit of background about the mayor. So Lamar P. Fisher. He's a third-generation company of the Fisher Auction Company. The company has been around for many years. He served his entire career there, over 30 great years, and is currently the president and CEO of this particular company. Now, he's very modest, very humble. He'll never tell you. But his company is top 10 within the U.S., so something to be very proud of. Hats off to you, Mayor. A little bit about his personal life. Yes, absolutely. Congratulations. So that's a little bit about his personal life. Professionally, his great-grandfather in 1908 signed the proclamation to make this great city of what it is today. 1908, he signed those forms, and here we are today. Fast forward a little bit, his grandfather in 1943 was the mayor. So you can see the long history of greatness going through his veins. In 2002, he was elected to commission and later became mayor, where he has served in his fourth term. So enough about me, enough about the organization. Let's bring out the mayor. He has a lot to tell us. Mayor Fisher, if you would, please come on down.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, my man. Thank you so much. Well, good morning. It's an exciting day in Pompano Beach. A little cool. Is that right, huh? Let me quickly get organized here so I can do that. I want to thank you so much for taking your time out of your busy schedule to be here today. I know a lot of those folks don't like to get up early. But I want you to know that I appreciate it, and the City of Pompano Beach appreciates you being here. Before we go on, I want to thank some folks, because it's most necessary. I want to begin with Rick Green and the Chamber of Commerce, our President CEO Rick, for your organization, for putting this on. I want to thank our committee, the State of the Address Committee, who works all year long to make this really a happy and an occasion, and also our City of Pompano Beach. We have our City Manager, Mr. Harris, and his team here. Thank you so much. Along with the, yes, please. Along with the team at our wonderful Culture Center, which we'll talk momentarily. But I have to recognize one individual, and she's standing right here, and that's Shauna Benson. Without her, this would not be able to take place today. She put it all together. She works all year long. Thank you, Shauna, for all you do. So again, every year I get the opportunity to have a State of the City address, and as the mayor, that's a wonderful thing. But the most important thing is I have an incredible teammates that I work with every day. So what you're about to see, what you're about to hear today is really my colleagues that I get to work with, because we collectively make the decisions happen. We have two commissioners here today. We have Commissioner Rex Harden with us today. Rex, please stand. And we have Commissioner Barry Moss. And those who are not here, Vice Mayor Charlotte Burry was not here today, but I want to recognize her, Commissioner Mike Sobel, along with, who am I missing, guys? I think that's about it that we're missing here today. And Commissioner Perkins, I'm sorry, from District 4. So they are my teammates. They are what we do every day to make this city what it is today, and those who before me and those who have worked together. And it's a great opportunity for us to come together and make things happen. Elected officials, I know that we recognized Glenn Trost, who's the mayor of Lighthouse Point. I just want to say something about Mayor Trost. You know, when we're sister cities, we're next to each other, we get the opportunity to collaborate together and make things happen. And one of those things happens to be Exchange Park, what we've shared over the years. We have a nautical flea market coming up at the end of the month. And then most recently, we cooperated with the City of Lighthouse Point, and we're bringing our reclaimed water to the City of Lighthouse Point, to their residents to be able to enjoy. So Mayor Trost, thank you so much for your participation and working with you. And then I want to Fred always says we forget about him, and it's most important. Fred Siegel was our Broward Water and Conservation District Commissioner. Thank you so much, Fred, for being here as well. So today's theme, as you saw, is hashtag Destination Pompano Beach. That means simply, as you saw that, it means sand, sun, innovation, and of course fun. So today we're going to focus on just 5 immediate areas because we could be here all day. I don't want to take your time all day and talk about our city and so much progress. We're going to begin with progress. We're followed by tourism, your city at work, our challenges, and the quality of life is what we're going to focus on. But to my realtors out there, to my brokers and my developers, I want to ask you one question. What are the 3 most important words in real estate? Location, 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 right? So if you put that next slide on, if you would, we talk about location, and we talk about how privileged we are in Pompano Beach to where we are located today. Look at that map. Look at Florida. We are so blessed to be in southeast Florida, in between, and if we do the next slide, in between, of course, Miami and Palm Beach County, and about an hour and a half away from our west coast. So we are strategically located in an amazing opportunities that we have and what we've been able to create here. 2 exits on the Florida's Turnpike, 3 exits on I-95. From our famous beaches all the way out west to our Isla Casino, to our John Knox Village, who is an incredible partner with us. This is what we're all about, folks. So we sometimes take it for granted for where we are strategically located and what we are able to accomplish all these years. So progress. I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the last 10 years, the city of Pompano Beach has made change, and I believe for the better. We've created a vision, and we've implemented that vision. And as Commissioner Moss always says, if you're not ready for change, you're standing still, because change is going to happen either way. So we might as well get on board and embrace it and make it to better for all of our residents and for all of our businesses as we move forward into the century. Here we are here today. So let's talk about our poster child. I think we skipped, did we skip Coy? Okay, the next one. But let me talk about our cultural center. Our cultural center here is started 9 months ago. Look at this facility, folks. Is it not incredible? The talent, the national talent that's coming here, most importantly, the public opportunities that we have here today is amazing. And I want you to know that the stats show that to date we've had 185 performances and over 16,000 folks have visited this facility so far in less than a year. So we are fully activated, we're fully marketing our cultural center. But here's an interesting story, and I always use Chris Longsworth as our poster developer. And I say that because Chris came to Pompano Beach based on that vision we talked about. The cultural center wasn't even built yet, but he saw the vision and what the city of Pompano Beach and its leaders did, and so he invested millions and millions of dollars in probably the #1 development we've seen in many, many, many years in kind of our central part, our core of our town, called Coy. So he built an incredible townhome product on the water, and now he's in the second phase into the 2 towers facing the boulevard, which will be market rate residential product that will be available to that. I say that because of the vision and the planning is why Chris is here today. Otherwise, he would have never come here and been a part and spent his hard-earned money and his investors' money into making what that development is, again, what we call our poster development here in Pompano Beach. Let's talk about some projects. Our pier replacement. Horatio Danovich, where are you? You're way in the back. Please stand. Horatio Danovich is our capital improvements project manager. I don't know when he sleeps. I don't know what he does, but he continues like the Energized Bunny, and he continues to create and manage these projects. But this is a pier reconstruction, and you can see it is a dynamic, iconic opportunity for Pompano. Our pier was at the end of life as an expectancy. The city made a commitment, and we are rebuilding our new pier. And if you can see how it's going to be raised, it's going to be much more wider, and at the end of it, it's going to have a Pompano fish head, and it's going to be very iconic. And so that is on construction, ready to go. It's moving forward, and it'll be completed on time. Even with Hurricane Irma, we didn't have any issues with it. But it's the most amazing. You can go on camera, you can watch this construction, how it moves forward piece by piece as they build this. So it was a collaboration of incredible agencies, state agencies, federal agencies, that Horatio was finally able to come together. So kudos to him and our pier construction. Thank you. This is something that Chief Jorgel is going to be proud of. These are hopefully our future ocean rescue towers. And we talked about this last night at another meeting where they're going to be able to be colorful. We talked about children being able to identify if they're lost and so forth. But most importantly, the visual aspect that our ocean lifeguards will be able to have. So again, those will be coming on board on our beach side as well. Followed by our Atlantic Boulevard Bridge, which will be next. Again, Horatio, kudos to you, but kudos to the vision that the City Commission had in making this project a reality. It's about a $5 million project, ladies and gentlemen. These are going to be an icon bridge coming and going off the Barrier Island on Atlantic Boulevard. You see the sails there. You see the reconstruction of the tender house. You'll see new railings. You'll see artwork. You'll see lighting. So when 4th of July comes, it could be red, white, and blue. St. Patty's Day can be green, whatever it may be. But this is going to be the gateway coming and going. And to my far right here is obviously an area which you'll be able to connect the north and the south areas of the bridge itself. There'll be a walkway underneath that. It'll be lighted for us to enjoy. We had our groundbreaking recently at the top, right after you see there, and that's coming on board, and that will be expected to be finished very soon on that. Okay, our investment on our beaches has leveraged the private sector. What does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? That means that we prepared, again, provided the infrastructure for private development to come forward. And this is our pier, our Pompano Fishing Village. We've talked about it a lot, but this kind of gives you a complete concept that is now going to become a reality. You have 2 restaurants. We just broke ground a few weeks ago on Oceanic, which is on the sand. Pompano Beach House is already under development. You've seen that. And that's an opportunity, again, for have 2 restaurants. And across the street, just right across from Pompano Beach Boulevard, we have signed up, or the developers have signed up, BurgerFi, Kilwins, and of course Alwyn's, which is a Surf Island shop as well. And then you take it to the finalization, and we're going to be having 2 hotels flagged by the Hilton that will be available for hospitality for our residents as well as our guests that come visit them and our tourism, and that kind of completes that development as we move forward. And we'll talk about the water taxi momentarily. Next is the Charlotte Burry Community Center. Vice Mayor Burry has worked very hard over her years of working on the commission to provide a Crest Haven Community Center, and is now on board. This is artist renderings. This is located at Federal Highway, just north of the Barbara Rubino's location, and that's going to be coming online. It's fully funded, and Mr. Harrison is working to make that complete for our residents in Crest Haven. Our Fire Station 24. We're going to talk about a GO bond momentarily, but we have been fortunate to now replace 2 of our fire stations. One is Station 11, which is on the beach, and Station 103, which is up in the Crest Haven area. Now we have begun reconstruction, a complete new station of Fire Station 24, which is at the corner of 10th Street and US 1. That is under construction now. That should be completed, hopefully, Horatio tells me, by the first quarter of 2019, and we'll have another fire station on board. We can have that as well. So what is our investment in our city core? Again, we're investing in infrastructure, we're investing in opportunities for private investment to come in, which equals, obviously, huge benefit for us. These are just some highlighted projects I want to talk to you about. The first one is the City Vista. That is, of course, our MLK corridor. That is about complete. It's 111 affordable housing affordable housing apartments. That will be online with, of course, we'll have some workspace and we'll have some retail at the first level that the CRA is very, very hard working on that. And that is almost complete. You can run by and see that now. The second one is called Old Town Square. Again, I hate to be repetitive, but we create vision, you create the tools, and it will come. The investment will come. Old Town Square will be in Old Pompano at just north of the First Baptist Church would be approximately 280 residential units. Now, how did we get there? We had to do certain zoning opportunities to be able to create an atmosphere, not a concrete block, but obviously architecture that will be pleasing to the neighborhoods and so forth, at the same time protecting our single-family neighborhoods. So that's going to be coming online, hopefully in the very near future. The next is Heritage Station. Heritage Station has been in the planning for a couple years now. That is the corner of 4th Street and Flagler. And that is very exciting because where's Reverend Lester at? Reverend Lester, can you wave at me? Reverend Lester? There you are over there. Reverend Lester has been talking about for many years of senior housing, affordable. Ladies and gentlemen, this project's coming online. That will have the opportunity of 116 units to be able to have senior affordable housing. And last but not least, we have the project in Palm Air that's been developed, of course, which is luxury residential units. That is just west of 31st. I also want to talk about that because that property, that organization who built that, gave us an opportunity just down the street on 31st Avenue to be able to have a 10-acre park. So what the city did is we went further, and we have now in negotiations for completion to have a complete international soccer opportunity and plaza and fields. And because of that, what that has spurred off now, as we just approved a couple of nights ago, is across the street within about a half-a-mile radius throughout our Collier City neighborhood is going to be 71 brand new townhomes to accommodate our coaches and to accommodate our residents. So by spurring Palm Air to our park and now to 71 townhomes in the Collier City area, I think is most amazing. Thank you. Okay, now we're going to talk about streets. We're going to talk about three. Again, there's so much to be able to accomplish, but we're talking about streets. We're going to begin with Briney. Those who live on the beach, you know that we have been working for the last probably 4 to 5 years on Briney Avenue, making complete streetscapes, allowing the pedestrians, allowing the vehicles to be able to coexist and work together. This is what it looked like before, folks. I'm going to tell you what it looks like today. It's a $5 million project. We have made a dynamic change on our beaches. And it wasn't easy. It talked about FP&L and utility easements. You talked about parking and be able to accommodate everybody. John's office has done an amazing job, and our city engineer, to make this project come a reality as well. Our second street is Dixie Highway and Atlantic Boulevard. What does it look like today? You can see what it looks like today. Hideous. Hideous. Mr. Briesmeister and Ms. Briesmeister has worked very hard in trying to accomplish what we want to here and making it what is really going to happen more safe, more friendly, be able to connect again our civic commons to our old town and ultimately to the MLK corridor. And we're working very hard. And I'm going to tell you who helped us with this. Roy Rogers, are you here? Roy, where are you? Roy Rogers is the icon when it comes to things like this. He worked very closely with Mr. Harrison and FDOT. And ladies and gentlemen, we now, as a city, now own Atlanta Boulevard from 95 all the way east. What does that tell us? That tells us that now we can control that and we can redevelop it to what we want to do. Without that, we could not. And by the way, we received about $4.5 million, by the way. Right, Roy? Yes, sir. Thank you for that when you complete that. So, and last but not least is our MLK Boulevard. You've seen the streetscape. You've seen opportunities basically from Dixie almost to 95. This is a grant that we received, the Tiger Grant, on a $3.5 million basis. We had to match that grant, but that's going to be development from I-95 to Powerline Road, again, providing a wonderful atmosphere for us to, again, to get out of our cars, to be able to walk, to be able to enjoy each other throughout that program. And we've already completed from the Turnpike to Powerline Road on that streetscape, and people like Keith Associates and every other folks collaborated together along with Horatio and the businesses to make that a reality as well. All right, tourism, very, very important. Again, the City Commission several years ago said we need to really invest in our tourism. We were able to get a tourism director through Ms. King's department, and Shipwreck Park. And ladies and gentlemen, you have no idea what diving and the millions and millions of dollars that it produces in a community. It is amazing. So what we did back in 2016, we actually had Lady Luck come all the way from New York, and then we sunk her, and now she is a huge diving spot for us. And then this past August, what we were able to do is the Okinawa, which is about 107-foot tugboat, and we were able to sink that for another artificial reef and diving. Take a look at this video. And that is Jeff going, but it blows his mind. That's what he said when he was the first one down there. So again, that's an opportunity again for us to be able to have folks from around the world. I remember Tom DeGiorgio saying he was in France at one time visiting his in-laws, and somebody talked about Pompano Beach and the diving experiences. So we are definitely worldwide known, and we're going to be continue to be known for our diving experiences. And then comes our water taxi. Again, kind of completing our Pompano Village, folks to be able to enjoy the waterways. We have 8 locations now. And I can tell you in the first week, we sold over 300 tickets on our water taxi. And that's going to continue to be an economic engine for us, be able to provide our residents to be able to travel from all the way from Boca all the way to Fort Lauderdale if they want to on our waterways. Tourism next is our tourism center. Again, Ms. Sandra King has been in charge of our tourism center, which is located at our Pompano Beach garage on the beach. It's completely now, and the interior is now complete, and we'll be staffing very soon. And I want to thank one individual. You know, when I talk about teamwork, I talk about folks working together. Sandra Von Staten, I didn't see you here today. Sandra Von Staten is a longtime activist in our community. She lives over on the beach area, and her dream was to have a tourism center on the beach. You remember that, Sandra? And now it's a reality because her vision and her wanting to be a participant and make this happen. So I want to thank residents like that to actually come to us and say this is what we'd like to see and grow momentum, and we're really going to have a tourism center that's going to be incredible. Next, of course, is our sports tourism. Mr. Boudreau is in charge of all these wonderful sports. We talked about our diving. We talked about our fishing. We have our fishing fleet, which is a signature fleet, of course, at the Hillsborough Inlet, and, of course, our signature golf course from Greg Norman. And I talked to Bob Lauren yesterday, and he informed me that last year we had 80,000 rounds of golf played in our golf courses. That's amazing, folks. So that is a huge asset to us. Greg Norman was kind enough, again, to put his name and signature, of course, on that, and we're excited about our tourism when it comes to the sports opportunities. Now let's talk about your city at work. Again, we went through the budget process. We will have the budget process in July and officially adopt our budget in September, and it begins October the 1st. And what we were able to do is about a $265+ million budget. Here's the important things to know, folks. Property values in our city went up 8.5%. The average in Broward County is about a 2.5% lower than that. What does that mean, folks? That Pompano Beach is coming and is here to stay. It's a destination. And what that does, it creates more tax base for us so we can keep our taxes low as a commission level, but that is exciting. And as we talk about the Development Review Committee, we hear loud and clear from our development folks that we want to streamline, and we begin about E-plans, and we're able to get that involved. And we talk about now, how do we first get involved? And DRC is the Development Review Committee. We kind of begin, and Mr. Recor and his team does that. What we've been able to accomplish here, and I just want to read a couple of these things. Now you have DRC appointments, so there's no more waiting to be called. So you physically get up on. Comments are provided to you 1 week in advance of those meetings, and submittal checklist is given to you every project during the pre-application meetings. Flow charts are provided to clarify the process, and of course project planners and managers are there to help you all the way. My point is we're here to serve you as developers to be able to build, and we're continue to streamline our processes to make it easy for you to come into our city and to be a part of it and make a difference. Awarding grants, and I know we have someone from Congressman Deutsch's office this morning. This was exciting right here because we were able to get a $100,000 grant from the federal government, and Congressman Ted Deutsch got that for us. And kudos to him, and kudos to what he does for his cities he represents. But we were able to have 14 grants. We were awarded last year over $5.5 million, and we only had to match 1.3 and change. That's impressive, folks. We have our own grant writer. That makes us a lot easier as a commission to be able to do more things when we get those type of grants. That's a big difference, and I want you to understand that. Okay, now we get to our vacancy rate, and Mr. McQuestion, I think you will really appreciate this. it's unheard of, those brokers who are with us tonight. We have a 97.8% occupancy rate. That is like unheard of, folks. That is really unheard of. So when you look at that, you look at the vacancy rate, 8.4% and so forth, that is huge in our community because we have a large base of industrial, office, or whatever. And last year, the next slide will tell you, I believe that over 1 million square feet was either sold or leased in our city this last year. 1 million square feet. That's activity. That's Destination Pompano Beach. And here are type of the companies that we brought in last year. Wayfair, CubeSmart, who's going to be self-storage on McNabb. We have Ultra now that replaced up there next to Whole Foods, AutoZone and Home Goods and Wawa. And by the way, we take credit for it. It was the first Wawa in Broward County at Sample Road and Federal Highway. Isn't that right, Mayor Trost? Huh? So we take credit for that. We were the Cool Springs was open that afternoon. An investment in our city. The city of Pompano Beach is 110 years old. And so as we have grown and as we have done that, there has been several things that we have been able not to accomplish. So the city of Pompano Beach and the leaders have decided to put ahead of the voters what we call a GO bond, GO bond, if you want to say. And the GO bond is going to consist of about 25 projects. They're on our website. Most importantly, as I said about our aging infrastructure and what we want to do today, ladies and gentlemen, this provides us an opportunity to make a big difference in Pompano Beach, a dynamic difference, a big change. Here before, we would save a little money, and then we would build a project. We would save a little bit more money for another few years, and we would do a little project. This offers opportunity to be able to make a huge difference in 3 categories. The first one is going to be streets, sidewalks, bridges, and streetscape projects. And they're on our website for you to listen. But listen, very important. Again, we talk about infrastructure, where we want to be. Bridges are a huge thing today. And we talked about that last night at one of our community meetings. In streetscape and sidewalks, it's a necessity, folks, that we be able to provide the quality of life for our residents and to be able to do this at one given time rather than trying to piecemeal it all the way through. The second one is going to be public safety projects. Chief Jurgel is very, very passionate about this. He talked about last night about all of our stations, the ones that are still existing, are not being redone, is built in the 50s and 60s. They're obsolete, folks. They're breaking down. It's most imperative. We run about 31,000 calls a year throughout our city at our fire rescue. So we need this desperately. We have bought a piece of land in the southwest part of our community where Commissioner Moss is at to be able to build a new fire station there, and we want to upgrade our other ones. It's time, folks. It's time for our folks that work for us, and it's time for our community to be able to understand and be able to get the response time that's needed to be able to save lives. And last but not least is the parks and recreation and leisure projects. Again, upgrading apartments, our parks. We talk about McNair Park in such dire need. We have a huge plan there. We have a full parks master plan that we want to implement during this. But what it takes is there going to be 3 questions on the ballot. And those 3 items which I just talked about is 3 separate questions. So we're asking you, and I can advocate. Isn't that right, Commissioner Harden? I can advocate, right? I don't have to educate. I can advocate. I want you to be able to vote for these 3 questions, folks. I want you to be able to vote for them because it will make a difference for you to be able to enjoy. And how we're going to pay for this is through a bond over a 30-year period. That's how we're going to, just like you do your mortgage in your home. That's what we do. We pay interest, and we do that. But you're able to enjoy it today. Otherwise, you would never be able to enjoy. So that's my soapbox on the GO bond. I want you to get out and vote for that as soon as you can once it comes out. March 13th this year, March 13th, please come out and vote for that. Okay, I think I have my notes on that. Now we're talking about making a difference. Making a difference is amazing. The best affordable home in the country was built in the Highlands area. This is amazing because we had a developer who came to us with a unique product, was able to build this home affordable for folks to be able to enjoy. And now Mario is continuing to be able to provide more homes in our community. But this was actually voted the best affordable home in the country. The second one is a $60,000 challenge grant for the Miss Masters Audio Engineering class. That's big because that is able to get to our youth and be able to provide services to provide opportunities for career-changing opportunities for our youth. And that is really cool, and that's the Knight Foundation. That doesn't come easy, folks, and our folks worked very hard to get that. Our ISO class, Chief Jurgel and I kind of had a pact about 5-6 years ago. I said, Chief, the City Commission wants to become an ISO class #1 rating. What does that mean? That means, ladies and gentlemen, there's only less than 0.5% of fire departments in this country has this class. What does that tell you? That tells you that we are #1. And we did it through working together with our group. Chief Jurgel, thank you so much for that opportunity. Preserve America, we provide that designation. We were the first one in Broward County to receive that opportunity, followed by, of course, from our communications, we were awarded the Award of Excellence for our water sports brochure. And last but not least, to our finance folks, Distinguished Budget Presentation Award was given to us as well. Again, we are on top of it, folks, and we're making it happen. Now, challenges. We always have challenges, don't we? No matter, it sounds how good, but we need to have challenges. Let's talk about them. We talked about them last year, and we're going to talk a little bit more about them this year as well. And we're talking about education. Empowerment through education. First of all, we talk about the school board and what they do. But the city of Pompano Beach has taken upon themselves through community leadership, through our employees, through our fire department, to make a difference. We said last year that we no longer have any F schools. Isn't that great? But as we continue, we want to make them better and better and better. So by empowering and by citizens like John Gears of Life and so forth to give their time and give their efforts to be able to read to our school students and to be able to make the difference. That's what's great. But most importantly, we offer also programs that are not provided through the school system. We talked about the Knights Grant, about the mixing and the media. We're going to have a media center right down here very soon in this building as far as that. So we're going to be able to provide dance classes, all these wonderful programs that our children can be able to get involved with that the education system is not providing to them. So we're proud of what we're doing. We're proud of making a difference. We're proud of getting involved and getting our children to where they need to be. Is it a long road? Absolutely. But we're trying to make the difference we can. Affordable housing. We talk about affordable housing at the city center as far as a multi-level, multi-family type opportunity. This is very interesting. Habitat for Humanity, ladies and gentlemen, has built over 100 homes already throughout our city. Now what they're doing is they have now going to be building 77 single-family homes in our Northwest community, providing home ownership for 77 families. This will be the first project that the Habitat has ever done of this magnitude and size. And I know, Rick Green, you sit on their board for Habitat. Is Nancy here today? Did Nancy make it? I don't know if she's here today or not, but I want to thank her for making a difference in our community because they chose Pompano to be able to build this project, and we're very excited about affordable housing in our community. Homelessness. National program, national issues, not just to Pompano Beach. We have a homeless coalition. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be there yesterday. But our goals have been in the future, Father Bernie Picaro, thank you for heading that up for me, by the way, for being able to create a business plan. And Mr. Gear, I think, is here. He's going to facilitate that, and we're going to come up with a plan. But just kind of give you an overall goal of what we want to try to do is we want to try to provide a one-stop shop facility. When I say that, one-stop as far as housing, one-stop shop is for being able to provide psychiatric help, one-stop shop for being able to provide jobs, health issues, etc. So one can come there if they want to and to be able to be helped and saved. So we're kind of looking around Pompano what we want to do. Obviously the ideal place would be by our shelter on Blunt Road and be able, we're finding out that Broward County does own some land around there to be able to build a facility, but that's our long-term goal, folks, because it's a problem. And it's not going to go away. And I wish there was a fix because we read about all these other cities having the same problem from Phoenix to California. You know, you have folks on California living literally on the sidewalks. You know, so we have a team of BSO out there helping every day, but there are some folks that just don't want help. And I'll give you the classic example. There was an individual who the Broward Sheriff's Office was able to put in housing, able to get them an apartment and so forth. And this gentleman stayed there about a month, and he came out and he says, I can't live in an apartment anymore. I have to go back on the streets. He had $75,000 in his bank account. So that's the challenges you come up with. How do you be able to help somebody like that when they have the financial capability? You're able to provide a service to them. And folks, 80% of the folks do get help. It's those other folks that we have to convince to get help. We have to get them to get off the dependency of alcohol and drugs. We have to do that together as a team, as a community. And it's not easy. It continues to thrive. We have cold air upstairs. They send them down here, folks. That's what it's all about. So I'm asking you, if you have ideas and you see something, call us. Let us know what you're thinking about it, because it's not an easy program. But if we can get this one-stop shop, hopefully we can make a difference in our community and help our homeless folks. Thank you. Community residential homes. Ms. Jennifer Gomez, we're going to call them community residential homes, she told me to call them. So I'm going to be very gentle on that, but I do want to talk about what we're doing with these types of facilities here. We have begun, of course, to talk about, which consist of, the community homes consist of course, umbrella of group homes and sober homes and so forth. But right now the city has mapped the locations of all the known and the unconfirmed locations of our community residential homes. The city has retained the law offices of Daniel Lauber, who's going to conduct a thorough study. We were able to meet with him last week via Skype to establish principal guidelines to be able to base the zoning amendments for all community residents. My point is, this gentleman has become an expert in Arizona and has also helped the city of Delray Beach to be able to rewrite some of our zoning codes that will be able to protect our communities. Are we going to be able to get rid of them? Absolutely not, folks. Community homes are protected by the federal government through the ADA Act. That's a reality. But what can we do to make a bigger impact rather than clustering and so forth? So you're going to see in the near future, the City Commission is going to be able to do some zoning guidelines and direction to be able to make some differences for the future that we'll be able to do. So I want to thank David Recor and Jennifer Gomez for your wonderful work on this as we continue to talk about that. We continue to talk about short-term rentals as well. And last but public safety, again, Chief Hale, I know you're out here with your team. There is no hidden it. Crime is up. Crime is up not only on Pompano Beach, crime is up nationwide. My number one advice to you right now is lock your cars, because it's amazing how folks are coming through and flipping handles, and you would be amazed about 80% of the cars are left open. Also, you see those wonderful fobs you have for your car? Don't leave your extra one in the glove compartment. Okay? I say this because it's simplistic things to be able to deter crime. In your homes, light them up. Put your porch lights on. Don't make them dark. All these things that we need to do as a community, and we also need to be eyes, because the Broward Sheriff's Office can't be everywhere. So you need to be our eyes and our ears to be able to see if someone in your street living, they don't look like they belong there, call the police. Please do. So we can have a proactive stance and be able to do that. We have set opportunities, set teams that could come in through a high crime area. We could have driveway initiatives. There are multiple things that the sheriff is offering to us if we can only implement them. Okay, because crime, unfortunately, is going to be here to stay as well. So we need to minimize it, and we need to work together as a community to do so. So take advantage of these programs that are offered by our police department to be able to change your neighborhoods to make it a better place to be and to live. Quality of life is a cultural destination. Obviously, there are multiple venues here. Community, we are now a cultural destination. Again, vision and implementation that the city commissioners have done over the last 10 years, and we decided we wanted to be a cultural community. And it began with Baca in our old town, and of course we have Ally Building, and of course we have our new cultural center here. My point is, it offers a myriad of opportunities of all race, colors, religions, and so forth to be able to enjoy our cultural opportunities we have. Our facilities are magnificent. We are hopefully going to bring them, Mr. Harrison, into one umbrella to be able to work together and cohesive together to make even more pleasurable. But ladies and gentlemen, we have national, international programs, dances, plays, musicals, and down to, again, to opportunity for our youth to be able to enjoy our facilities. So please use them and become part of it. Something that we're very excited about is our amphitheater. Several years ago, we re-engaged that after many months and years of being shut down. We have now are in the process of working with AEG, one of the largest promoters in the world, who is going to be continuing to bring folks national entertainment to our amp. Very, very important. And guess what? They're going to invest their own money of about $2 million into our amphitheater. Plus, we're going to make money, which we've never been able to do before as a city, at the end of the day, through ticket sales and so forth. So thank you, A&G, for coming to Pompano and being a part of our city. And the 300 free events, again, we do talk about this every year, but we talk about each year what opportunities we have for free. Over 300 events each year are happening within our city. Amazing. And Mr. Phillips, I think, is happening. Tiger Trail is here. Tiger Trail is here. It's going to be next month, I believe it is. So please come out and enjoy our Tiger Trail Festival that's been dormant for a couple of years. And thanks to Mr. Phillips, as he formerly served, for that opportunity. But here we go again. Private sector, providing over 150,000 people visiting our city through multiple venues, through our Chamber of Commerce 34th Annual Seafood Festival, to John Offerdahl's program. I can't ever say that word, so I'm going to say Crawfish Festival, because I can't ever say that word. So it's Crawfish Festival, and then, of course, our Brazilian Fest. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now, I believe, we just completed our 6th or 7th year of the Brazilian Festival. And one of our dreams as a city commission was to be able to embrace our Brazilian community. What we did for Monica Rivera, those who were able to help assist us, to really make a difference. And we have now created one of the largest Brazilian festivals in the nation. And it's right here in our city at Community Park. What it does is it brings national and international talent to us, but most importantly, it embraces our Brazilian community to know that they're part of our city. Because we have so many cultures, but about 20% of our population is Brazilian. And so that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to make a difference for them. And again, destination, Pompano Beach, sand, fun, innovation, and sun. Here we go. That's what we're all about today, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. So as I wind up today is the fact that, again, thank you to my colleagues. Thank you for working closely together. And being born and raised in Pompano Beach, seeing the growth, hearing the stories of my father and my grandfather and my great-grandparents of what Pompano used to be, what it is today, I think we have made such an incredible change over the years for the better. And timing is everything. Timing is absolutely everything. A few years ago, there were developers coming here, and we were just kind of foaming to make them come. Now we're creating what we want to see through land use changes, through opportunities, through land acquisitions, to hopefully come one day with Class A office, hospitality at our 95 interchange, all these wonderful things, jobs, market rate housing, retail, all these things have been the vision. But I think truly we've kept that hometown feel. We haven't become Boca, we haven't become Fort Lauderdale, we have become a unique destination. And that is kudos to all the hard work, again, from past electeds to current electeds and then the future electeds. It's going to continue because, again, the vision's been created, the implementation is here, and I don't think anybody can derail it. I think it's here to stay. But I think it's here to stay in a smart way. We listen to our residents from the beach and to the northwest and to the south and to the north. We listen to you. Please continue to get involved in your government. Please continue to let us know what you're thinking. If you have a great idea, call us. We can't be everywhere. We can't think of everything. But it's amazing what our residents come up with. So I just ask you to continue the course, continue to enjoy a place, a destination where you truly can live, work, and play. God bless you. Thank you so much for coming. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve as your mayor.
All right, before you leave, I want to make a point of this moment. I've been in this job for 11 years. This has been my mayor for 11 years. This has been my city commission for 11 years. And I'm very proud of the involvement between the chamber and the city that we have been able to craft. But this is the mayor's last speech to the chamber members for the state of the city, as he has decided to move on and is running for county commission.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I want to thank you
Thank you, Rick.
for everything. The chamber is not political. We stay out of the politics. But I have to tell you, this man has made that so easy. We really embrace the changes, the positive changes that we see. And with that, I'm going to tell you two things. We're not political, but our chamber supports and encourages you to vote in favor of the general obligation bond coming up in March. Also, I have one other quick announcement. We talked about Lighthouse Point at the beginning. We have Mayor Trost here. I'm proud to announce that last week, it wasn't done in time, that the Greater Pompano Beach Chamber of Commerce has reached an agreement with the Lighthouse Point Chamber of Commerce to merge. That is our second merger within 2 years, as we merged with Margate earlier last year. We now will have over 800 members in the Greater Pompano Beach Chamber
Fantastic.
of Commerce.
That is awesome,
So we
Tim.
thank you very much.
Good job.
I want to hear one last huge round of applause and share the love for our mayor, Lamar Fisher.
Thank you. Thank you. I love you guys, so I'm not going very far. I'm just going down the road, so I'll still be able to represent Pompano, but God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you all for coming. We appreciate your time, and we look forward to seeing you again very soon.